it's come to my immediate attention that Esteban Ocon has been dropped. Now, after Monaco, we all thought, he might be benched for Canada. After that collision with Gasly, was it really necessary? No, it wasn't. What were you thinking?
Now, if I were in my car, I'd look at that space and go, well, that's too small. And then I'd go find another. But that's not what a French person would do.
Now, this wasn't the first time that Esteban Ocon has made contact with a teammate. It has been happening over years and years and years. All of the years that he's spent with Alpine, there has always been some sort of drama. All of the years that he's spent with Force India, the teammate drama after even more teammate drama. And it's got to the boiling point right now that the Alpine, Bruno Fairman, have had enough. They're putting their foot down on this one, saying, do you know what? If you're just going to keep on crashing into teammates upon breaking everything that we own, do you know what? We do not want you. That all-French patriarchal team is currently being disbanded. It went from French team, French engine, French driver, French everything. And the only way for that to continue is to bring back Romain Grosjean into the team. Is that going to happen? No, because the last time he stepped foot into a Formula 1 car, he went 200 miles an hour into a barrier. Big flame, big crash, lucky to be alive.
Seems like a championship is brewing up in Formula 1. A three-way title fight. The King, Chick Hicks, and Lightning McQueen. Ooh, it might be a championship fight. Subscribe and like, otherwise it won't happen.
No, I'm not discrediting Esteban Ocon as a driver. He is a race winner. He literally got multiple podiums last season and literally has a point in that Alpine this year. He is just your good midfield driver. I think he deserves an all-right car, not the best car, not the absolute dead worst car, because at the end of the day, he is a good driver and he has proven that time and time again. But each driver on the Formula 1 grid has a hamasha, a fatal flaw. Logan Sargent, his biggest enemy is the walls. Sergio Perez, his biggest enemy is probably Max Verstappen or the gravel, and so on and so forth. And Esteban Ocon, his teammate. He has terrorized his teammates one too many times for Alpine to be like, no, go away. Bruno Fairman, the team principal of Alpine, said that it not just because of Monaco that he's being dropped. We thought he might be benched for the Canadian Grand Prix. Let him learn his lesson to not crash into his teammates. But he's been dropped, disrespected, and Bruno Fairman has said it's not just because of the Monaco Grand Prix that he's being kicked for whatever he's been doing. This has been brewing up over a long period of time. And finally, things have happened. Maybe this can actually teach him a lesson to, you know what, you probably shouldn't treat your teammate like a pin in like bowling, just like absolutely hitting them every single time you can. Maybe he should have taken some words of advice from Sergio Perez. When they were teammates, they weren't on the best terms. And Alonso as well. He had fury upon rage to Esteban Ocon. Happy to leave, he said. Happy to leave. And this actually throws another spanner into the works of the silly season in Formula 1. That's another driver who is out of contract. Esteban Ocon has said that, you know what, soon I will announce my future plans. Is that future plans of not being in Formula 1, deciding to retire because reputation potentially might be ruined and, you know, carry on driving and more teammate clashes, more people hate you? Or does he mean announce something for the future? Announce that he's joining another team potentially. And if he was to join another team, I'm pretty confident that would be Haas. After what's been happening over the years, I don't think any top team will want him. That is out of the picture. Mercedes, no. Red Bull, definitely not. And so on and so forth. The only team you're really left with is Stake or Haas. Stake, I think they're looking for a more safe hands in their team. And Haas, I think they just want a all-right driver, knowing that Nico Hülkenberg is now leaving, and Kevin Magnussen not doing the best on the track. The only thing that he can actually accomplish on the track is breaking someone's front wing, crashing into them, or being an absolute nuisance. And that boils down to my predictions of the Haas lineup next season being Oliver Bearman, and Esteban Ocon. Now, the reason why I've picked those, I think this is actually a pretty good pairing, because Esteban Ocon won't feel the need to pressurize his teammate, a rookie teammate. I mean, what's the point? Let him learn. He probably won't be at your pace at the moment. Might as well just leave him alone. Let him develop. Let him learn. And Esteban Ocon, he can be fragging out in Haas and doing his own thing, probably avoiding other cars and avoiding his teammates. That would be the most sensible thing that he could probably think of. But I think by now, he has learned his lesson. Do I think this was a mutual agreement of Esteban Ocon saying, I want to leave, and Alpine saying, yeah, we don't want you anymore? No, I think that Alpine just straight up knocked on his door one day, gave him a little phone call saying, you've been crashing out too much, we don't want you anymore. Or something along those lines. Now, obviously, this isn't just because of the crashes. This is probably something so much more in the team. There's layers and layers of things. I'm just like saying crashes because that's what we see at face value. But the thing that strikes my curiosity is that Bruno Fairman has said that this isn't just because of the Monaco Grand Prix. But then that kind of, flicks a couple clogs in my brain to Bahrain. Yes, this season Bahrain, when Esteban Ocon on the radio getting knocked out of Q1 was like, guys, don't worry, we'll get this. We will develop into the future and we will be better. He had faith in the team. He was in the team for the long run. He was there to be committed. He was there to stay for a while. And he was ready to fight in a couple years with Alpine at the top, if they were ever going to be there. But now that he's being dropped, I think that Bruno Fairman is lying slightly. I think this is just to teach him a lesson. We don't want a teammate who is just a nuisance, and which the two teammates don't have a good relationship. I think that's what it is. Because why on earth would Esteban Ocon just glorify the team being knocked out of Q1 in Bahrain? I think there's something else. And now yet again, that opens up the question, who will be driving for Alpine next year? I'm pretty certain that Gasly is going to be there. He has pretty much had zero issues with the team, and he's been doing bits. Last year, he scored more points than Esteban Ocon. Last year, he scored more podiums than Esteban Ocon. This year, well, he has an equal amount of points to Esteban Ocon, but he's been doing better on track. By better, I mean not crashing into your teammates. There are obviously the obvious candidates for the seat, Sergio Perez potentially, maybe Carlos Sainz, and so on. And so everyone that's just on the grid who's out of contract. But I think the potential people who are going to take that seat aren't on the Formula 1 grid. I think it's two options. Either Jack Doohan, who was absolutely incredible in Formula 2, been in Alpine for a while, and he's just been waiting and waiting and waiting, just like Felipe Drugovich, for that moment to come. For that moment that he can pounce up and be like, guys, I am ready. I have been in Formula 2. I am a good test driver, right? Surely you give me the opportunity now. The amount of confidence that I've given the team, I have been here from a long time. And guess what? I have racing blood in my veins. My dad, he was incredible on 2 wheels. I'm incredible on 4 wheels. Give me the opportunity. Well, it's between Jack Doohan and I think Mick Schumacher. Mick Schumacher? Really? I mean, after all, he did leave his car looking like a potato, mashed potato, after every single race when he was in Formula 1. I think potentially he actually might be able to get back into Formula 1. He has incredible ties with Mercedes. We know the amount of work that he's been putting in with Mercedes, developing the car. I mean, last year, Spain, he was pretty much the sole reason why they got a 2-3 in that race. That was probably the last time I remember seeing Toto Wolff smile. Because ever since then, it's just been pain upon pain upon pain upon pain. Singapore, smiling until even more pain. Anyway, in that Spain race in 2023, Mercedes were nowhere in FP1, FP2 until Mick Schumacher decided to step in the car, pull an all-nighter in the simulator, trying to test out a good setup, and a good setup they found. 2-3, pretty good. Of course, you're not going to beat the undisputed Max Verstappen, are you? 2-3, that's all you can settle for, especially in 2023, when Max Verstappen was on a rampage every single race. Okay, and what? What ties does Mercedes have with Alpine? For not a lot, but the ties that Mick Schumacher has with Alpine is probably quite significant and quite something that is important. Have you guys ever heard of the race, the 24 Hours of Le Mans? I think you have.
What a race! Ups and downs for Porsche. Number 75 had to retire from the race.
The race that literally takes 24 hours to complete. The race that, let's bin it. A race quite literally like no other. A race that, in 2024, Mick Schumacher is going to be competing with Alpine. You see, the tyres are there. For Alpine to trust Mick Schumacher in the Le Mans car, we know that Mick Schumacher is actually a good driver. It's just Haas, they didn't want, you know, they were just, it was just, it was bad. It was bad. It was very, very bad. However delusional this sounds, I think the lineup for Alpine next season is going to be Mick Schumacher and Gasly. Mick Schumacher, one of the most friendly, respectable drivers on the grid. He respects his teammates through in all of the time. Doesn't really like to respect his car. But hey, that was the olden days. That was him in Haas. That was when he was a rookie, a youngling to the sport. Now he's got experience from Mercedes, got experience from Alpine, going to be competing in the 24 Hours of Le Mans, one of the most prestigious races on the planet. I think he has learned. I think that he will be the perfect fit for Alpine. Yet again, at the moment, Alpine isn't a team that is competing right at the top. It's a team that is literally quite at the bottom. Mick Schumacher could, you know, learn the basics again of Formula 1, get to grips with it, and I have faith that he will be up there. Eventually, probably not instantly, but eventually. And honestly, with everything that has been happening in Alpine over the last couple years, drivers being fired, drivers leaving, drivers not wanting to be there, Daniel Ricciardo leaving, Alonso leaving, Ocon, you know, the whole lot. Now I think that they're finally deciding to take initiative. I think that Bruno Fairman is very good. Everything that he's been saying over, like, you know, the Sky commentary, very knowledgeable. I like the guy. He's very grounded, he knows what has to happen, and he's making moves that are good. Esteban Ocon, bye-bye. Anyways, in the comments, let me know, do you guys think that this is a good choice for Alpine to drop Ocon? Let me know. What should they? Might as well subscribe and like. Don't know why you wouldn't. And don't die because then you comment on videos. That'll be sad. Anyway, peace.